Because I think Donald Trump's going to carry Georgia going away because he's acted expeditiously and constitutionally. Do you disagree with me?
Hugh, as you say on your show repeatedly, what we are proving right now before COVID-19 and even in COVID-19, frankly, with the jobs report last week, but we are proving that what we believe in works. Less government, fiscal responsibility, economic opportunity for everybody. Look, in the 3-year turnaround, which is the best economic turnaround in U.S. history, Hugh, under President Trump's leadership, 2.5 million people pulled themselves out of poverty. We don't talk about that. But that is in contrast with the failure of the Great Society's war on poverty over 50 years failed to move the poverty line at all. And President Trump comes in and does it. In the African-American community, we have the lowest unemployment in U.S. history right now, the highest middle-class income ever measured. President Trump has done more through justice reform, HBCUs, which are our historic black colleges and universities, and our opportunity zones that Tim Scott has helped author, has done more good for that community than any president in the last decade, last 100 years, really.
Just before you add on Governor DeWine of Ohio, who said repeatedly President Trump has honored federalism in his calls with the governor. He understands his job, and he has made sure that the state governors come first. I think the president is upholding the Constitution. On Sunday, we had Colin Powell say he's drifting from it. I wrote a Washington Post editorial this morning saying that's absurd. What's your assessment of Donald Trump's fealty, his loyalty to the Constitution?
Well, first, President Trump loves America. He loves Americans, and that came through in 16. He plays outside the lines. He knows how to break eggs, and that's exactly what we needed. This man is committed to the Constitution. If you look at everything he's done in standing up for America with our allies and others who would do us harm, this man has made sure the world knows that America first doesn't mean America alone, but this is the first president we've had in 50, 60 years, Hugh, that has told the rest of the world what's important to us. I think that's very refreshing, and we've got to give him a second term.
Second, last question, 30 seconds, Senator Perdue. I believe this whole election is about the Constitution. I think Donald Trump is the Constitution candidate, and I think Joe Biden and the Democratic Party is off the rails to the left. Your assessment?
Well, the Democrats are trying to perpetrate a socialist agenda that you heard in the presidential debate, Hugh, and you'll see it in the general election with Biden. Biden is no moderate. He absolutely wants to perpetrate a socialist agenda on the people of America, and we're not going to let that happen.